Suppose I must see who it is.
Imagine, if you can, a small room, hexagonal in shape, like the cell of a bee. It is lighted neither by window nor by lamp, yet it is filled with a soft radiance. There are no apertures for ventilation, yet the air is fresh. And in the armchair there sits a swaddled lump of flesh, a woman about 5 feet high, with a face as white as a fungus. It is to her that the little room belongs. The room, though it contained nothing, was in touch with all that she cared for in the world.
Be quick, Kuno. Here I am in the dark, wasting my time.
I want you to come and see me.
But I can see you. What more do you want?
I want to see you not through the machine. I want to speak to you not through the wearisome machine.
Oh, hush. You mustn't say anything against the machine.
Why not?
One mustn't.
You talk as if a god had made the machine. I believe that you pray to it when you are unhappy. Men made it, do not forget that. Great men, but men. The machine is much, but it is not everything. I see something like you in this plate, but I do not see you. I hear something like you through this telephone, but I do not hear you. That is why I want you to come.
By her side on the little reading desk was a survival from the ages of litter, one book. This was the book of the machine. In it were instructions against every possible contingency. If she was hot or cold or dyspeptic, or at a loss for a word, she went to the book, and it told her which button to press. Then, half ashamed, half joyful, she murmured,
Oh, machine! Oh, machine!
and raised the volume to her lips. Thrice she kissed it, thrice inclined her head, thrice she felt the delirium of acquiescence. She had not seen the tunnel since her last child was born. It curved, but not quite as she remembered. It was brilliant, but not quite as brilliant as a lecturer had suggested. Vashti was seized with the terrors of direct experience. They stopped. The thing was unforeseen. And the man, instead of picking up his property, felt the muscles of his arm to see how they had failed him.
How dare you! You forget yourself.
The woman was confused and apologized for not having let her fall. People never touched one another. The custom had become obsolete, owing to the machine.
They were once called the roof of the world, those mountains.
What a foolish name.
How we have advanced, thanks to the machine.
How we have advanced thanks to the machine.
How we have advanced, thanks to the machine.
These mountains give me no ideas.
I have been threatened with homelessness. I have been outside since I spoke to you last. The tremendous thing has happened, and they have discovered me.
By these days, it was a demerit to be muscular. Each infant was examined at birth, and all who promised undue strength were destroyed. Humanitarians may protest, but it would have been no true kindness to let an athlete live. He would never have been happy in that state of life to which the machine had called him. Man must be adapted to his surroundings, must he not? In the dawn of the world, our weekly must be exposed on Mount Taygetus. In its twilight, our strong will suffer euthanasia, that the machine may progress, that the machine may progress, that the machine may progress eternally.
The machine hums. Did you know that? Its hum penetrates our blood and may even guide our thoughts. Who knows? I was getting beyond its power. Then the voice said, "Jump, it is worth it. There may be a handle in the center, and you may catch hold of it and so come to us your own way. And if there is no handle, so that you may fall and are dashed to pieces, it is still worth it. You will still come to us your own way." There was a handle, and I did catch it. I just lay with my lips close to the hole, and I sipped until the bleeding stopped. I felt that those hills had called with incalculable force to men in the past, and that men had loved them. Now they sleep, perhaps forever. They commune with humanity in dreams. Cannot you see, cannot all your lecturers see, that it is we who are dying, and that down here the only thing that really lives is the machine? We created the machine to do our will, but we cannot make it do our will now. It has robbed us of the sense of space and of the sense of touch. It has blurred every human relation and narrowed down love to a carnal act. It has paralyzed our bodies and our wills, and now it compels us to worship it. The machine develops, but not on our lines. The machine proceeds, but not to our goal. We only exist as the blood corpuscles that course through its arteries, and if it could work without us, it would let us die.
During the years that followed Kuno's escapade, two important developments took place in the machine. The first was the abolition of respirators. Advanced thinkers, like Vashti, had always held it foolish to visit the surface of the earth. Those who still wanted to know what the earth was like had, after all, only to listen to some gramophone or to look into some cinematophote. And even the lecturers acquiesced when they found that a lecture on the sea was nonetheless stimulating when compiled out of other lectures that had already been delivered on the same subject.
Beware of first-hand ideas. First-hand ideas do not really exist. They are but the physical impressions produced by love and fear. And on this gross foundation, who could erect a philosophy? Let your ideas be second-hand, and if possible, tenth-hand, for then they will be far removed from that disturbing element. Direct observation. Do not learn anything about this subject of mine, the French Revolution. Learn instead what I think that Enicarmen thought, Urizen thought, Gutch thought, Ho Young thought, Chibosing thought, Lafcadio. Hearn thought, Carlyle thought, Mirabeau said about the French Revolution. And in time there will come a generation that has got beyond facts, beyond impressions. A generation absolutely colorless. A generation seraphically free from taint of personality.
The second great development was the re-establishment of religion. The machine, they exclaimed, feeds us and clothes us and houses us. Through it we speak to one another, through it we see one another, in it we have our being. The machine is the friend of ideas and the enemy of superstition. The machine is omnipotent, eternal. Blessed is the machine. The troubles began quietly, long before she was conscious of them. All were bitterly complained of at first, and then acquiesced in and forgotten. Things went from bad to worse, unchallenged. There came a day when over the whole world, the beds, when summoned by their tired owners, failed to appear. It may seem a ludicrous matter, but from it we may date the collapse of humanity. The committee responsible for the failure was assailed by complainants, whom it referred to the Committee of the Mending Apparatus, who in its turn assured them that their complaints would be forwarded to the Central Committee.
Of course we shall not press our complaints now. The mending apparatus has treated us so well in the past that we all sympathize with it, and will wait patiently for its recovery. In its own good time, it will resume its duties. Meanwhile, let us do without our beds, our tabloids, our other little wants. Such, I feel sure, would be the wish of the machine.
Year by year it was served with increased efficiency and decreased intelligence. The better a man knew his own duties upon it, the less he understood the duties of his neighbor. And in all the world, there was not one who understood the monster as a whole. Those master brains had perished. They had left full directions, it is true, and their successors had each of them mastered a portion of those directions. But humanity, in its desire for comfort, had overreached itself. It had exploited the riches of nature too far. Quietly and complacently, it was sinking into decadence, and progress had come to mean the progress of the machine.
The machine stops.
What do you say?
The machine is stopping. I know it. I know the signs.
There came a day when, without the slightest warning, without any previous hint of feebleness, the entire communication system broke down all over the world, and the world, as they understood it, ended. She had never known silence, and the coming of it nearly killed her. It did kill many thousands of people outright. Ever since her birth, she had been surrounded by the steady hum. It was to the ear what artificial air was to the lungs, and agonizing pains shot across her head. People were crawling about, people were screaming, whimpering, gasping for breath, touching each other, vanishing in the dark, and ever and anon being pushed off the platform onto the live rail. Slowly the brilliancy of her cell was dimmed. The reflections faded from her metal switches. Now she could not see the reading stand, now not the book, though she held it in her hand. Light followed the flight of sound, air was following light, and the original void returned to the cavern from which it had been so long excluded. They were not fighting now. Only the whispers remained and the little whimpering groans. They were dying by hundreds out in the dark.
Where are you?
Here.
Is there any hope, Kuno?
None for us. Quicker. I am dying. But we touch, we talk, not through the machine. We have come back to our own. We die, but we have recaptured life, as it was in Wessex when Elfred overthrew the Danes. We know what they know outside, they who dwelt in the cloud that is the color of a pearl.
But Kuno, is it true? Are there still men on the surface of the earth? Is this tunnel, this poisoned darkness, really not the end?
I have seen them, spoken to them, loved them. They are hiding in the mist and the ferns until our civilization stops. Today they are the homeless. Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Some fool will start the machine again. Tomorrow.
Never. Humanity has learned its lesson.
E.M. Forster wrote this in 1909. Before radio, before television, before the internet, before social media, before artificial intelligence. He saw it all. A small room, a screen, buttons for food, for entertainment, for communication. A system that provides everything and requires nothing except that you never leave. A population that knows thousands of people and touches none of them. Lectures compiled from other lectures. Ideas derived from ideas derived from ideas, each generation further from direct observation. Beware of first-hand ideas. Forster put those words in the mouth of a fool, and a century later they became policy. Content generated from content. Analysis of analysis. Models trained on the output of other models. Each iteration further from the source. Each generation seraphically free from taint of personality. The machine is every system humans have ever built and then forgotten how to maintain. It is the irrigation network that fed Rome until nobody remembered how the aqueducts worked. It is the Library of Alexandria that held the knowledge until nobody remembered why it mattered. It is every institution that began as a tool and became a religion. Forster understood the pattern. The machine hums. Its hum penetrates our blood, may even guide our thoughts. Who knows? That line, "Who knows?" is the most terrifying phrase in the story. Not a rhetorical question, a real one. The hum is so constant, so total, so lifelong, that nobody can determine whether their thoughts are their own or whether the machine is thinking through them. The system has become the substrate. The substrate has become invisible. The invisible substrate guides the thoughts of the people who depend on it, and they cannot tell where they end and it begins. The specialization that made the machine efficient made the machine incomprehensible. and an incomprehensible system cannot be repaired. It can only be worshipped until it stops.